Let's start with world headlines. Yemen's internationally recognized government claimed responsibility for an attack on which airport, an attack the Houthis blamed on Saudi Arabia? The WHO has warned that an Ebola outbreak could be 2 to 4 times larger than reported figures show. Which country is at the center of the outbreak? The EU banned imports of which precious metal from Sudan in July 2026 in a bid to cut off funding for the civil war? Darline Graham Nordone, sister of the late Lindsey Graham, was appointed to fill a Senate seat in which U.S. state? Which two entertainment giants are the subject of a merger that several U.S. states are suing to block? Comment your score after every round. I want to see who's still perfect by the end. Next round is World Cup. Which country became the first team to book its place in the 2026 World Cup final, beating France 2-0 inches the semifinal? Which two teams played each other to decide who would join Spain in the World Cup final? Which country entered the 2026 World Cup as the defending champion? The 2026 World Cup final is being played at which stadium in New Jersey? How many teams competed in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the first tournament to use this expanded format? If you're enjoying this, smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel more than you'd think. Okay, on to space and science. Which NASA telescope captured a red, white, and blue image of star cluster Messier 3 to mark the U.S. 250th anniversary? Astronomers are searching red and white dwarf stars for signs of which hypothetical alien megastructure? Which country's Long March 10B rocket completed a maiden test flight with a successful booster recovery in July 2026? Astronomers released the largest ever catalog of gravitational wave detections, revealing how many total black hole collision events? Which NASA astronaut launched to the ISS alongside 2 cosmonauts aboard a Russian rocket in July 2026? Not subscribed yet? Now's the time. New quiz every week. Let's go with Around the World next. What piece of U.S. legislation passed the House in July 2026 aiming to end the twice-yearly clock change? Long-standing border checks were removed in July 2026 between Gibraltar and which European country? At least 2 people died in a shooting at a festival celebrating which culture held in Toronto in July 2026? The U.S. has launched a sweeping campaign pressuring other countries to withdraw support for which international court? Which country withdrew most of its troops from northeastern Nigeria after a joint operation against ISWAP? Send this to a friend who thinks they know everything. Next is health and environment. U.S. citizens traveling through DR Congo must now spend 21 days elsewhere before entering the U.S. due to the spread of which disease? A magnitude 8.8 earthquake near which peninsula triggered a Pacific-wide tsunami in June 2026. A fire in which Southeast Asian capital city killed dozens of people, with many victims trapped near a rear exit. Researchers found that shifting patterns in what part of the environment act as a natural brake on the global spread of drought. NASA awarded nearly $600 million for how many commercial moon landings planned for late 2028? Drop your final score below and subscribe for next week's quiz.